Hey guys, it's Shiny here, and today, or I guess tonight, since I'm currently recording this at 9, I wanted to start something. A tier list, or making a tier list for every single Pokemon. Now, if you know anything about me, Pokemon is probably the single biggest franchise in my life. I mean, my entire name my entire channel name, entire online username, Shiny, is based off Pokemon. And this franchise has been very important to me since I was like 5 years old. And it's been a very special thing to me. And I've actually made a tier list for every single Pokemon quite a few times. I think over 10 times, I think now. And yeah, so needless to say, I love Pokemon. And what I wanted to do was make the tier list again, but like have it recorded because I I've done this plenty of times, but never really like explain my thought process as I put Pokemon on, right? So I wanted to go through and explain why each Pokemon is in the tier they are. So yeah, I'm probably only going to do generations 1 through 3 in this video. Uh I'll probably do this in segments, and then when I'm done with it, make a make maybe just a like big video for record just like putting all of them into one, right? But yeah, so yeah, let's get started. Before we get into the actual rankings, let's start with each of the tiers since there are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 tiers here, and might as well explain each of them. So at the very top, we have the Big 16. Now, what does this mean? These the Pokemon that will be in this tier are my favorite Pokemon of all time. Like Pokemon that go above all else and like are undoubtedly my favorite Pokemon for plenty of reasons. These are the big ones. The ones that will probably forever be like some of the most important Pokemon to me. Then there's Adore. This is basically just Pokemon I would view as 10 out of 10s that aren't at the same level as the Big 16. So yeah, Adore basically 10 out of 10. I just love basically everything about them to the point where I adore them. Love is 9 out of 10. I love most things about it. Maybe there's like a thing here or there I'm not the biggest fan of, but I still love them at the end of the day. Really like there's maybe like one thing about them I really don't like, but I like love the rest of it, or maybe I just really like it. Love is basically like 9 out of 10. Really like is like a mid 7 out of 10 to a high 8 out of 10, right? Like I like them, not maybe like very strong. Basically like 6 out of 10 to like low 7 out of 10. Indifferent towards I don't really think one way or the other about them. Basically, about 5 out of 10. Dislike, self explanatory. I don't like them. Basically, like a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. Hate, I hate them. 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. And not including, I'm not going to be including any Megas, Gigantamax, or alternate forms I don't think change enough. I will be including regional variants because I think they change enough about them. But generally, if it's a form that isn't a regional variant, I'm probably not going to be including it. So, because I feel they're basically the same Pokemon, and I can just apply that form to the rest of the Pokemon, right? So yeah, that's about it in terms of the tiers. So let's get started. Bulbasaur. I love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur, I'm just going to make it clear now. Venusaur is my favorite of the Gen 1 starters. And I'm just going to put all of the Gigantamax and Megas for the starters at least here now, so I don't have to worry about them later. Bulbasaur, I think it's adorable. Love its design, love it in the anime. It's just, anytime I'm playing a Gen 1 or a Kanto game, I'm going to pick Bulbasaur. I just love this little guy so much. Ivysaur, I really like Ivysaur. Thing is, Ivysaur doesn't really have the charm Bulbasaur or Venusaur do, in my opinion. And I don't like its design as much as the other two. So that's about the main reason why it's in really like and not love. Venusaur, I just love Venusaur a lot. I love its design. I love the like little crown thing it has going on its flower. I think it's Mega. I think it's Mega and Gigantamax they're actually kind of weak, especially compared to like Charizard and Blastoises. But I think they get the job done, and I do like the goofy, like big leaf that Venusaur Gigantamax has. But yeah, I love Venusaur a lot. There was this deck. We'll get into the deck a lot more, like like a lot more at a later point when we get to like the main Pokemon in the deck. But Venusaur was a big part of one of my favorite decks ever, Shining Genesect Venusaur. And like I that boosted it a lot because as you're gonna learn, the TCG has a huge influence on my opinions on a lot of Pokemon. And Venusaur is one of them. So yeah, love the Venusaur line. Ivysaur a little bit less, but still really like them. Charmander, I've always like I used to be one of those people who considers the Charizard line to be extremely overrated. And honestly, I like Charmander. I think it's got a pretty nice design. It was cute in the anime. But I don't know, its design doesn't do it for me like Bulbasaur and Squirtle do. And like, yeah, I've never liked the Charizard line nearly as much as Blastoise and Venusaur. But Charmeleon and Charizard, both of them have grown on me a lot. And Charizard, especially with its Gigantamax and Mega forms, has grown on me a lot. And I've ended up really liking Charizard, especially in the TCG with the Team Up Charizard. That one was a lot of fun to use. So, like, yeah, Charizard, I've grown to really like Charizard and Charmeleon. I think their designs are pretty cool. And, yeah, Gigantamax Charizard is probably my favorite it's probably my favorite Gigantamax, and Charizard X is one of my favorite Megas. So yeah. I do find Charizard a little overrated, but I still really like it. And same with Charmeleon. In general, I would probably put Venusaur a little bit... I'm only going to order the three top tiers and the bottom tier, because I feel it would be too tedious to tier like these three, because there's going to be a lot of Pokemon within these tiers. So yeah, I would say I like Venusaur a bit more than I do Bulbasaur, simply because I generally enjoy the final evolutions more than the pre-evolutions, right? There will be exceptions later down the line, but yeah. So yeah. And then I really like Squirtle. Absolutely adorable. I don't love it as much. I don't love it enough to put it above Bulbasaur, but still really cute. That about all I have to say when it comes to it. Wartortle, I don't like its design that much. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the shade of blue, if that makes sense. And like, I don't like the little things it has on, like the little wing ear things. don't apply to Blastoise unless if those are supposed to be its cannons. But yeah, I don't get the purpose of these, and the tail, like, I feel like maybe if Blastoise incorporated like some of these aspects more into it, I would like it more. But Blastoise doesn't really apply any of these into its final design, so yeah. I don't I wouldn't put Wartortle in indifferent towards because I still like some of its design at the end of the day. I just don't. It's probably my least favorite of the. Well, no, it is my least. It's probably my least favorite Pokemon from all of the Evos or from all of the Gen 1 starters, crazily enough. But yeah, I really like Blastoise. Incredible design. Its megas are pretty cool. I wouldn't say they're as cool as Charizard's, but I would say I would put him above Venusaur's. Uh, Cannons are cool. I think the main reason it isn't in love and is only in really like is that I don't have as much of a personal experience with it as I do Venusaur. Since when I first played Pokemon Red and Blue, which are actually the only Kanto games. Well, no, I've played Fire Red before, but Blue's the only Pokemon game or Kanto game I've like fully played through. I played through it with a Venusaur, not a Blastoise. So that gives it the edge in sentimental value, and sentimental value is extremely important to me. But yeah, I really like Blastoise, just not as much as Venusaur. Caterpie, I like Caterpie. It's very close to indifferent towards, but like, it's an iconic design. It's cute. That's about it in terms of it. Like, yeah, it's like a very low like, honestly. Metapod, I don't really care for Metapod. It's just a boring design. Like the Harden joke is funny, like a few times, but then it gets old, and I think other Cocoon Pokemon do like a better job than it. It's just super boring, and like nothing about it is like that special. Butterfree, Butterfree's really cute, and like it's a simple but pretty nice design. And honestly, of the butterfly Pokemon, I would probably put it in a higher regard than most butterfly slash moth Pokemon. And its Gigantamax is really pretty. So like, and like it does have that like really important role in the anime, like as Ash's butterfly. And I will admit, at least the first time around, I did tear up a little bit when Butterfly Free left. So I'm gonna put it. Thing is, I still don't care for it that much because compared to its other Gen 1 bug, Beedrill, which we'll get to very shortly, it just does not compare to for me, and like it's always just kind of been a bit boring, I guess. I'm gonna leave it in like for now. I may come back and put it in like low really like, but I guess only time will tell. Weedle, I think Weedle is a far better design than Caterpie. Like I love the little spikes it's got going on, and the thing is, I still don't like it that much. I have similar problems to it that I have with Caterpie, but I think it's just kind of an improved Caterpie, right? But not much else. Yeah, it's super weak. But the thing is, it does have a little bit of an edge because of Beedrill. We'll get to Beedrill very shortly. Kakuna, I'm gonna put Kakuna in the same tier as Metapod. I have similar issues with it that I have with Metapod. It's just kind of boring. I would put it ahead of Metapod simply because it has more going for it. Because like it's got a more like interesting shape. It had like those little claw things in Gen 1. And like in general, it's just a more interesting Cocoon Pokemon than Metapod. But at the end of the day, it's still a Cocoon Pokemon. And Cocoon Pokemon are just boring in general. But it's at least something. But it's still just an indifferent towards. Now, Beedrill. Beedrill is the first member of the Big 16. I love Beedrill so much. Like it has one of my favorite designs in all of Pokemon. The drills I just think are awesome. Bees, I think bees are cool. There'll be the other bee Pokemon that exist will also be pretty high. But yeah, love Beedrill's design. Beedrill in the Pokemon card game, it's never, well, okay, it was good like once, but it's never been amazing outside of that one. But like, it's had so many like little gimmick decks that have been really fun to use. That like, and like, sure, they've never been amazing, but like, God, they were so much fun to use. And then it's Mega. Mega Beedrill is my single, not only my favorite Mega, it is my favorite. It is my favorite gimmick form ever. Even more than any of the regional variants. I have so much love for Mega Beedrill. It's got the best design of any of the Megas. It's just perfect in every regard. I love what they did with its stats. I loved how it's the perfect representation of a Mega Pokemon, giving a Pokemon that desperately needed love the love it deserves, and just amplifying everything that makes it amazing. I love Beedrill so much, and its Mega kind of carries it to the Big 16, but everything else about it would at least give it a door. And the Mega just pushes it into the Big 16. Love Beedrill so much. It is my favorite Kanto Pokemon by far. Pidgey. Pidgey is just kind of boring. Yeah. Pidgey is just a boring bird. I hate to say it, but I don't really have any opinions on it. Especially compared to some of the other birds Pokemon in Gen 1. Like, especially if we're considering other Gen bird Pokemon, but even in Gen 1, it's just so boring. Yeah. Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is getting really, like, exclusively because Pidgeotto is one of my favorite names of any Pokemon. I just really love saying it. Its design is also kind of cool. Like, I think it's probably my favorite design of any of the Pidgeot line. But it's hard carried by its name. Maybe it's just a high like in that regard, because if the only thing that I like have a lot of love for is the name, I'm gonna put it in I'm just gonna put in like, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Pidgeot's cool, I guess, but I'm pretty sure I would consider almost every other bird to be cooler than Pidgeot. Same with Pidgeotto. Like, Pidgeotto does have an awesome name, but that's about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna put both of them in like. Alolan Rattata is cool. I like the mustache it has, but it's not anything stellar. Yeah. Now, normal Rattata is cool, and the only I think I like its design quite a bit. I like how it's always super easy to get, and it's more accessible than Alolan Rattata, since Alolan Rattata is really only in Gen 7, obviously, while Rattata you can access in a lot more places. And also there's this one Rattata in in the Gen 6 Pokemon TCG from Generations that has this ability where if you put it on your bench, you discard a tool card. And that was a lot of fun to use in conjunction with the Raticate, which we'll get to Raticate shortly. And yeah, I really like regular Rattata, Cantonian Rattata. This is 20 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. Alone Raticate. I like its cheeks. It's kind of cool, but it has nothing on regular Raticate. There was a deck I built called Ratbox, and it is the most personal deck to me ever. It's like it was pretty much a deck of completely my own creation, and the star of Ratbox was Raticate. Now we'll get to the other primary members of Ratbox later, but Raticate was the star of the show, and it killed. It was the oh no, it was Evolutions, not Generations. The Evolutions Raticate, which did I believe 60 more damage for each special energy in your opponent's discard pile. This was during the time where Zoroark GX was dominating, and like Buzzwole GX was the other best deck. So you had all this special energy running around. So Raticate was able to do really well, especially since they did it for a single energy. So Ratbox was this like disruptive deck that would like just try to get rid of energies, and I loved playing it. And yeah, Raticate and two other Pokemon in particular just became some of my favorites because of Ratbox. I think Spearow is one of the cooler first stage birds, and I actually really like Fearow. Fearow's just got a really cool design, and I like how aggressive it kind of is, you know? Spearow I'm putting a bit lower because it's not as interesting as Fearow. Ekans is a snake, but it's a rattlesnake, so it's kind of cool. Arbok is a cobra. I really like cobras. And it's just got a really cool design, especially with the like little face thing that's got going on. It's not enough to put it in love, but it's really cool. Pikachu is the mascot of the whole series. I kind of have to put in really like. It's just really cool. It's not my favorite, because Alolan Raichu is my favorite of the Pikachu line. Raichu is also really like. Raichu Pikachu, really cute. And I really like both of them, and I don't really have much to say about them. They're just iconic, and they're cool. Pikachu does get points because of the anime, but Alolan Raichu just has an awesome design, just a really good shiny. Like, Shiny Raichu is one of my favorite shinies. And yeah, it's Alolan Raichu is easily my favorite. Really cool typing. And love its little surf motif. Or is motif the right word? I don't know. But yeah. Alolan Sandshrew is adorable. Love its little fort. Regular Sandshrew is alright. It's basically just a less cute Alolan Sandshrew. Alolan Sandslash and regular Sandslash are both awesome. Like, they just got really cool designs. And yeah, that's about it. In terms of them, just really awesome designs. Love what they got going on. Alolan, or not Alolan, Nidoran female and Nidorina, they're just kind of alright for me. Nidoqueen is a low really like, but it's got a cool design. Same thing with the Nidorino and Nidoran. I'm just gonna say I don't really have any opinion, or not, and they're just cool. They're all right. Nidoking is awesome and is honestly pretty close to love, but not it. It just misses it by a bit. But yeah, Nidoqueen's all right, or Nidoqueen's pretty cool. Nidokeen's awesome. These are just all right. Clefairy. Clefairy. Where did it go? Oh, there's. Clefairy is, no joke, my least favorite Pokemon. I hate Clefairy so much. And the thing is, its design is okay. I don't really have many opinions on its design, but it's alright. I'm not a big fan of it in competitive, like the whole Wonderguard thing. You know, I'm just going to put Clefable in indifferent towards. I just don't really like Clefable that much either. And, like, in general, like, the entire Clefairy line would be, like, all indifferent towards. But Clefairy, I despise this Clefairy so much because of this one trainer from Generation 5 that has... Hold on, let me... Which way? You! This... Where is it? It's this Clefairy right here from Pokefan Jude is the actual devil. You want to know why? Because does it have a move? Does it have its move set? Doesn't seem to have its move set. But I'll just tell you now. This Pokefan, this Clefairy has the moveset of Minimize, Cosmic Power, Metronome, Stored Power. It is the most annoying thing ever because it bulks up so you can't... It minimizes so it gets its evasion boosted. You can't hit it. Then it uses Cosmic Power. So even when you hit it, it doesn't do anything. Then it'll use Metronome to somehow get belly drum first try, meaning it's bulked up all the way to get the most powerful stored power you've ever seen, completely wiping your entire team in your Nuzlocke. This Clefairy completely killed a Nuzlocke I was doing for Black and White 2 because I decided I wanted to get a little XP. I hate Clefairy so much. It is my least favorite Pokemon ever. And it's all because of Pokefan Jude. Or Judd, or whatever, however you pronounce it. But yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Clefable. It gets points reducted because it's related to this demon. But that's about it. Alolan Vulpix and Ninetales are beautiful. Like, I'm gonna put both... I wouldn't put Alolan Vulpix ahead of... Actually, yeah, probably that. Alolan Ninetales is one of the prettiest Pokemon ever. And Alolan Vulpix is one of the cutest Pokemon ever. I just love them both. They're just really cool concepts, especially since they were like the first Alolan Pokemon revealed alongside Sandslash and Sandshrew. It's beautiful, it's adorable. That's about all I have to say in terms of it. And regular are in the same boat. They are very pretty. They're very beautiful Pokemon. Not as beautiful as their Alolan forms, which is why they're in really like. But yeah, they have the similar reasons. Jigglypuff is funny in the anime. That's about it. Wigglytuff is alright. Zubat is annoying. It is annoying, but it's grown on me with time, especially with how much I love Crobat, which we'll get to later. Golbat is in a similar boat. It's kind of annoying, but it's grown on me. Oddish is a cute little guy. Gloom is alright. Vileplume, love the big flower it has, but that's about it. Parasect, Paris is... I'm going to put it in different towards simply because it's annoying in Legends Arceus. Parasect, I like the Parasite idea, but I feel they could have done something more with it, but whatever. Venonat is just kind of cute. I don't really have much to say on it. Venomoth is in a similar boat. I don't have much to say about it. It's It's got kind of cool design. I like that it has Quiver Dance. But there are moth Pokemon that do it so much better. Alolan Diglett, honestly, the entire Dugtrio line, I just don't have opinions on. That they're all right or not. They got boring. Okay, actually, I'm gonna put Alolan Sands. I'm gonna put Alolan Dugtrio in because those are some luscious locks. I'm kind of jealous of what they have going. I want this back Alolan Dugtrio's hair. It looks great. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, they get passed because the hair's funny and they're honestly goals. But these don't get past. They're just boring. And like the most interesting thing about them is what's underneath them. That's about it. Now we get to the Meowths. I don't really have any opinions on Alolan Meowth. It's kind of fruity, which I appreciate, but not much else. Galarian Meowth is actually kind of cool. Really like its design, and Berserker, which we'll get to much later, is actually pretty cool. And then Cantonia Meowth is... Hold on a second. Cantonia Meowth gets really like simply because it's funny in the anime. Alolan Persian, I don't like its design. It's just too goofy. I don't like the face. Too flat, like a pancake. Regular Persian is just kind of alright. It's just kind of a boring big cat. Nothing else about it. Can't even be fruity. Like Alolan Meowth. Yeah. Psyduck, it gets a really like... Mainly because of the anime. And also it's kind of funny in the TCG since it has like this consistent idea of disrupting you, like by making you not able to play any trainer cards if you get like a coin flip, which I think is kind of funny. Golduck is just kind of alright. It really should have been given the psychic type. But like, it doesn't really have much going on. Like, its design is all right, and it is kind of fun in the TCG. Like, there was like the really early Gen 7 Golduck that like was like pretty fun as like a cheap rogue deck, but that's about it. Mankey is alright. Primeape is actually kind of cool. I love it how it's just really pissed off. Like, honestly, good on you. And like, but like Annihilate, which we'll get to much later, just kind of blows it out of the water. So I'm not gonna put it any higher because Annihilate just kind of does everything it wants to better. But it's pretty cool. Love how it's angry. Growlithe is adorable. It's a dog. Love dogs. And yeah, it's a fire dog. Same with Arcanine. Generally, I would say I don't think that highly of them, but they're dogs. Love dogs. And I've actually used Arcanine in a playthrough semi-recently, and it was pretty fun to use. And like, it has extreme speed. It's pretty good, at least currently, and competitive for doubles. And yeah, Arcanine is actually pretty cool. Poliwag, Poliwag's alright. Poliwhirl is also alright. Like the swirl thing they got going on, but not much else. Poliwrath is also alright. They're just kind of there for me. Like, I don't hate them or anything, but yeah, they're kind of just there. They don't really do a lot for me, but they don't like do anything that I don't like. So they get like low like. Abra is adorable, but it runs away from you, which is kind of lame. Kadabra is also pretty cool, but Alakazam is just one of those things that just kind of blows out of the water. Alakazam, iconic. Yeah, it's iconic. It's got a pretty cool mega, all things considered. Oh, I forgot to mention, Galarian or Gigantamax Meowth is pretty funny. I don't really have any opinions on Mega Pidgeot, and Galarian Pikachu being fat is funny, and I like how it just says P. But Alakazam, Double Spoons, awesome, iconic. What's there to say that hasn't already been said about Alakazam? Machop is pretty cool. The one thing that has made me consider maybe putting Machop in really like is is Pokemon Twilight, where there was that episode with Bee and Machop just hands Bee a chocolate bar. I think that's adorable, but I don't think it's enough to put in really like. Machoke is just pretty cool, or is just cool. There's this one Machoke from the early Gen 7 era that was like really good, but like I didn't use it that much because it was like a bench protector, and I played decks that don't really need the bench protection, or it was just like not as good as it could be. But it's alright. Machamp I think is kind of awesome. Like love the four arms, and like in that same Pokemon Twilight episode, it was pretty cool. And like it's Gigantamax I actually like really like. It's just a really cool Pokemon. Bellsprout is alright. Weeping Bell I think is just a bit ugly and like not in a endearing way. Victory Bell is actually kind of cool. Like Victory Bell, it's funny in the anime in a weird way, I guess. But like I like its design, and it being based off a venomous Pokemon is just cool. Tentacool Tentacle's alright. Tentacruel is also alright. It's kind of high on the really like scale, but it's not enough to really push it over or anything. It's cool, but not much else, you know. Geodudes are alright. Same with Growler. They got interesting stuff going on, but Alolan Golem has a cannon, and that's just awesome. And there was also a Alolan Golem GX, and I tried so hard to make that a deck, and it never worked. But like, a man could hope, and just the fact I tried to make it work alone gives it some points, because that like seems like a really fun card if it was done right, you know. Regular Golem is also pretty cool. It maybe nah, it's here. Not much to say about it. It's got a pretty cool design. I don't think there's ever been anything in TCG that's like particularly been interesting to me when it comes to it. But Galarian Ponyta and Galarian Rapidash, and honestly the entire Rapidash line is just kind of to me. Like horses are cool. I'm not that big of a fan of horses, if I'm gonna be honest. But like they've got some interesting stuff, I guess, but they've never been that interesting to me, to be honest. Galarian Slowpoke. it's alright. It's kind of cute. Regular Slowpoke is funny. Galarian Slowbro is just kind of there for me compared to regular Slowbro, which is really funny. And I think regular Slowbro, like it having an amnesia, like the most broken move in Gen 1, I really like. Because it's just like absolutely go off king. And then there's the Slowbro from Pokemon Go that I tried so desperately to make work, or well, to like make Zoroark Toolbox work with that Pokemon. And like it helped, but Zoroark Box was always destined to fail. But it got my hopes up, and that has to mean something. Magnemite is cool. Same with Magneton. Magnezone does a lot more for me than both of these. Galarian, actually both Farfetch. I have a soft spot for regular Farfetch. Like, yeah, I have a soft spot for it. Because, like, I like the leak. I like what they tried to do with it. But yeah, there's not much else to say about it. Galarian's Farfetch just kind of does it better. But it's still not that interesting, especially compared to Surfetch. Doduo is alright. Dodrio is actually kind of cool. Really like the three heads and how like they're all like doing something different. And it's kind of fun to use in the TCG depending on like what like there have been a couple Dodrios I've like really enjoyed using in like certain formats. Seal, I have no opinions on Seal and Dugong. They're just there. Alolan, Grimer, regular Grimer, and Muck. They're all right. I kind of like what they got going on, especially Alolan Grimer, but they've never been they've never been that much for me. Now, Alolan Muck is awesome. Love what they did to change it. And just, yeah, it's the coolest of them by far. And it's actually kind of fun to use in the TCG. Like, there was the, like, Sun and Moon Alolan Muck that did a lot for me. And I think I tried Alolan Muck GX once. It wasn't that good, but it was something. Shelder, I don't really have any opinions on Shelder. Cloyster is kind of funny because like its main purpose within like Gen 1 competitive is using Explosion and like I think Sword Dance. But it's not really enough to put it any higher. I don't really have many opinions on Cloyster, to be honest. Which kind of... Gen 1 is probably the generation I have the least amount of opinions on. Because it's my least favorite generation. But yeah. Gastly is cool, but it's kind of been my... It's always been like... I don't like how it's just a ball, to be honest. Like, especially compared to Haunt. Like, the transition from Gastly to Haunter outside the eyes just doesn't really flow that well for me. Like, you can say that about a lot of Pokemon, but, like... I don't know, man. Haunter is really cool. And, like, it's very... It's like, one of the closest to love. But, I don't know. I think... Maybe in part it's because I don't like... I don't like the fact that it has to be a trade Evo. But I don't know why, but it's always just been, it's been there for me, and I understand why a lot of people actually like it more than Gengar. But meh, Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. Oh, shut up, video. Gengar is just awesome, and like, I think everyone's Gengar is. I don't. Gengar's like one of those Pokemon that it has to be among your favorites, either or Haunter, because like it's just look at it. It's awesome. It's a devious little guy, a little goober, who will who's up to mischief, but in the best way possible. It has one of the best megas and one of the best Gigantamax ever, with the with one of the best shinies ever in Shiny Mega Gengar. It's always been good and competitive. It's always just been an awesome dude. Like, what's there to say about Gengar that hasn't been said? Onix is really cool, but it sucks that it's actually god awful because it has like 40 defense and like really shitty. No wait, it has like 40 attack and I think like 30 HP. It's like just one of the shittiest Pokemon ever. Drowsy, I don't like Drowsy. I don't like Hypno either. They're fucking creepy. Hypno traumatized me as a kid. Honestly, I may put. Fuck it, I'm putting Hypno in hate. Because I watched one of the. There was this one video that was like. I think a Hypno song, and it just scared me so much when I was a kid. So, like. Yeah, this is one of the few Pokemon that's like up there with fucking Clefairy for me in terms of amount I hate it. I don't hate it as much as Clefairy because Clefairy is a fucking demon that ruined one of my favorite runs I ever did. But yeah, I hate it. I really don't like Drowsy's design, but it didn't traumatize me like Hypno, so Krabby's cute. Kingler's actually kind of cool. The big meaty claw does a lot for me, and like its Gigantamax is actually pretty cool. But yeah, Voltorb and Electrode are. Voltorb and Electrodes are just kind of boring to me. Like, yeah, I get they're mimics, but Amoonguss does the gimmick. But Amoonguss does the mimic gimmick. Mimic gimmick. That's a good one. Amoonguss does it better. Like, it's. I don't want to say like Gen 1 has horrible designs or anything, and like they get the job done. I just don't really care for them. I do think it's okay. The one thing I'll say about Electro that I like really like is it's really funny how its main goal is to blow up. But yeah, Execute's getting like exclusively because of propagation Execute from the Gen 5 era of the Pokemon TCG. Because that card is so much fun to use. And is like so broken. Yeah. Alolan Exeggutor is funny. It's just like really funny. Big neck. Regular Exeggutor is just kind of alright. Cubone. Yeah, the story gives it a lot of credit. The story gives it a lot. Lone Marowak's just awesome. Love that. It's a fire ghost type. Fire ghost is my favorite type. Actually, as one of my absolute favorite type combos. Ghost is my favorite type. And fire, while is not nearly as much of a type I like as, like, say, water, I still think is really awesome, and the type combo just works so well for me. Marowak is just kind of alright. Hitmonlee is kind of just alright for me. Same with Hitmonchan. I do like the fact they represent martial arts, and I do like how their names are like based off Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. But that's kind of it in terms of things that, like, at least to me, are notable about them. But, Lickitung is funny. I know most people say the tongue is ugly. I don't care. It's super funny. And Licky, we'll get to, is way funnier. Coughing is just kind of alright. Galarian Weezing. Now, I should put Galarian Weezing in, like, really, like, its design's actually really cool. It's got interesting typing. And, like, I really like the concept behind it. But then there's the neutralizing gas Weezing from, I believe, Darkness Ablaze. That was one of the most annoying decks to play against. Especially because I love playing ability-focused decks. And it would always, like, somehow get the turn 1 Galarian Weezing completely shutting me down. Forcing me to, like, have a way to switch out their active. And I hated it so much. Regular Weezing is alright. Rhyhorn is actually pretty cool, but I just think Rhydon does things so much better than it. Rhydon's awesome. Really cool design. And yeah, just really cool. Chansey it's alright. Tangela, don't really have any opinions on. Kangaskhan is actually probably has one of my least favorite megas because of how good it was and how, like, annoying it was. But it's kind of cool. I do like how it's a kangaroo while also being kind of like a dinosaur. I do like the little mom motif it's got going on. But it's just kind of alright. Horsey's cute. Seadra's kind of cool. Seahorses have never been, like, one of my favorites, but they're alright. I do like the little wing to spike thing the fin has going on. But, they've just always been kind of meh for me. Golding and Seaking, I don't really have any opinions on. They're just kind of there. They don't... Just kind of like boring fish Pokemon. The only thing keeping these from being, like, dislike is, like, the horns being kind of interesting. Otherwise, they're just boring fish. Staryu is actually kind of cool. Same with Starmie. I don't have that many opinions on them. But, like, they're cool. Love the star. Love the gem. Yeah. Okay, Galarian Mr. Mime is actually... I like its little tap dance it does. But regular Mr. Mime gets no pass. It is creepy. Don't like it at all. Scyther is cool as fuck. And is in the same league as Haunter as being, like, really close to love. But, like, I don't like how it's just another bug flying type. Because, like, that makes it just really bad against rock. And also, like, Scizor is, like, one of the single coolest Pokemon ever. Just a little spoiler, Scizor is a member of the Big 16. And Scizor is a very, high member in the Big 16. But that'll be for a later time. Scyther is very close to love, but it's just it's awesome, but I think it is a little overrated because like the claw arms are really cool, but like does it really need wings? Like I mean, I know Mantis have wings, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Mantis have wings. But you could have just taken the wings out and made it just like a pure bug type, made it cooler. But whatever. Jinx, ugly. Oh, Mr. Mime should be in dislike. Same with Jinx. It's ugly. It's Jinx, like one of the most disliked Pokemon ever. Yeah. Electabuzz, really cool. Love its design. Its name is awesome. Yeah. Magmar. Magmar used to be in really like, but its design has made. I don't like its design. Its face is just weird. And it's just never really. It, its time has went on, it's clicked less and less with me, and I really don't like the butt thing on its head. Pinsir is really cool. Tauros is pretty cool, but like I think the later bull slash buffalo Pokemon do what it does better. But it being the king of OU or king of Gen 1 is kind of funny. Magikarp, love Magikarp. It is the funniest of like the funny Gen 1 Pokemon. And it's iconic in the best way. Gyarados is probably my third favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. Like Gyarados is awesome. Gyarados is close to Adore. But like its typing of water flying and like the fact it basically has no good flying coverage like outside of bounce and fly, which are not that good. And like the fact that it's mega makes it dark type instead of dragon is just kind of off. It's an awesome Pokemon, and it's very because I've used it in a couple Nuzlocks, and like it's like the best Nuzlocke Pokemon. But yeah, it's iconic. It's Gyarados. It would have been in Adora if like it had something better than just water flying as its typing. But that's about it. Lapras is really cool. Love the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, really like it. Ditto is a love and is probably a little bit ahead of Alolan Raichu. Ditto is it can be any Pokemon. And that's really cool. Anything and everything. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's an amazing movie. You should go watch it. If you haven't already. So yeah, it was awesome. Eevee is adorable. I would probably put it. I would put it ahead of Magikarp. Honestly, Eevee could have been the mascot Pokemon, and I would not have an issue with that. Would I put it ahead of Alolan Raichu? No, I wouldn't. It's really cute, and its gimmick's awesome. And we'll get to several of the evolutions and how much or all of the evolutions and how much I like them. But yeah, Eevee's cute. Vaporeon is actually probably my fourth favorite evolution. And it's got a pretty cool design. I would actually probably put it right about here. Maybe, actually, yeah, right there. Vaporeon's just pretty cool. Love its like little mermaid design idea. Love the like little collar thing, I guess it has. Yeah, it's just pretty cool. Jolteon is pretty cool. Lightning Dog. Yeah. I haven't really used Jolteon ever, but I just think it's really cool. I've used Vaporeon, I believe, in two playthroughs actually, and both times it's been a pretty cool member. And Flareon is my least favorite evolution. It's just kind of there for me, and the fact that it wasn't until Gen 6 that it got anything good in it's just there. Porygon, cool concept. Yeah, just pretty cool concept. Ammonite is alright. Amistar, it's only here because Lord TLX. Kabuto is just kind of there for me. Don't really like its design. Kabutops is awesome. Really cool design. Love the scythe arms. Aerodactyl is pretty cool. Pterodactyls are awesome. Yeah. Pterodactyls are just pretty cool. And the Mega for Aerodactyl is pretty awesome. Snorlax. It's pretty awesome. It's just Snorlax is iconic. It's the best Pokemon in Gen 2. And like it's such an iconic Pokemon. It's never been one of my absolute favorites because I just like certain Pokemon more than it. But it's just always been up there. Galarian Articuno is just kind of a weaker Articuno in my opinion because Articuno is one of my favorites. I'd honestly put it. Yeah, I'd honestly probably put it right about there. Galarian Articuno just kind of doesn't do it for me compared to regular Articuno. Articuno regular, I think, is just kind of beautiful and is really cool. Its typing sucks, but that doesn't matter that much to me because it's pretty. Well, Psychic Flying just kind of doesn't do it for me. Yeah. Zapdos. Galarian Zapdos is one of my favorite designs ever. Like, just look at it. Like, just, yeah, awesome design. And just, yeah. Like, regular Zapdos is also awesome. Like, these two have amazing designs. Pretty cool typings for both of them. And, like, they've always just been iconic to me. Galarian Moltres has a absolutely awesome design. To honestly put it right there. Actually, probably, yeah, no. We'll put it there. Actually, there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, again, one of the coolest designs ever. I don't care for Moltres Well, I don't care for regular Moltres that much. It's actually probably like there. I don't know. It like I should like the Firebird more, but I think other Firebirds. It's just kind of boring to me, I guess. But Galarian Moltres is awesome. Dratini's cute. Dragonair has that like has an elegance to it. Dragonite. I've used Dragonite in my Soul Silver in a Soul Silver playthrough, and it was really fun to use. And Dragonite's grown on me a lot. It used to be like my least favorite pseudo legendary. Now it's one of my favorites. It's pretty close to love, but I really like it. It's got a nice design. It's fun to use. It's just really cool. And the first like fully evolved dragon type will always be cool. Final two Pokemon of Gen 1. I've been recording for an hour already, so I'm going to split this probably into each generation gets its own video. Yeah, that's probably how I'll do it. Mewtwo and Mew are both really likes. Like, they both have awesome designs, pretty cool lore behind them, and, like, they've always been there. And like the TCG has both done a lot for them and against them. Because Mewtwo, I've really enjoyed some Mewtwo's, but then there are other Mewtwo's I just hate playing against. Like Mewtwo V Union is simultaneously one of the coolest list and most hated decks I've ever win against. It's just and like, there's also the original Mewtwo EX that is in a similar boat. But just I don't know. The TCG just kind of doesn't do anything for them because I have so many bad and good experiences with both Mew and Mewtwo in the TCG that like it kind of balances out. And they're just really cool Pokemon on their own, but there's some of like compared to some other legendaries, especially down the line, they're just kind of there for me, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, they're pretty cool, but they're nowhere near some of the others. So yeah, that's Gen 1. I'll I'll probably do a separate video for each generation and then just like compile them into one when I'm done. But yeah, this will be a pretty fun thing to do. Just go through each Pokemon. But yeah, that's about it. I will return later. So yeah, bye.